Alrighty, everybody. So today is a different kind of day. Mother-in-law Pyment is not doing what she's supposed to be doing. I took a reading of her this morning and she is at 1.017 after a month of fermenting. That is not where I want her to be whatsoever. That is far too sweet. And I think that the brew has stalled. So we are in a sort of crisis aversion situation where I will be adding a different yeast to help finish the fermentation. What yeast will I be using? The most common used yeast in this particular situation is EC 1118. Why is that? It has an alcohol tolerance of about 18%, and right now the mother-in-law Pyment is sitting at about 15%. So it gets harder as more alcohol accumulates in our brew. It gets harder for the yeast to continue making the alcohol because it doesn't have as much of the sugars that are fermentable, of course, to actually eat and then excrete more alcohol. So I am currently rehydrating that yeast so that it'll have the best possible chance of doing well inside the brew. Now, not only am I using a little bit of water to rehydrate the yeast now, I'm also going to be doing a technique that is often used in cooking called tempering. So what I'm gonna do after we have a little bit more time of the yeast rehydrating, I'm going to take small bits of the brew and introduce it to the yeast. That way the yeast have an opportunity to acclimate, that's the word, to acclimate into the environment that they are about to go to. I'm going to be doing it in 2 stages. So I'll give out that information a little bit later. But yeah, I was not happy when I tasted this. It wasn't quite right for what I am going for. Was it tasty-ish? It was too much still like grape juice, so it still had a little ways to go. But I am confident that we can work past this and it'll go a little bit better. So see y'all in a few minutes. And we're back. So it's been about 15 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off the lid to the brew. And I'm gonna take a quick peek inside. Yeah, it still smells very sweet, but it does smell fermented at the same time. Let me get y'all a look inside. So looking inside, you can see there is not a lot happening. There are a few bubble islands in there, but this is not what I wanted. So what we're gonna do now is I'm going to take a little bit of the brew with my sanitized turkey baster. Not too much, you know, I'm gonna do about, ½ ounce. And I'm gonna add it to the EC 1118. Again, this is called tempering. And it's just a slow introduction so that when the yeast go into the brew, they don't automatically die because they haven't had a chance to rehydrate and reform themselves after being dehydrated. So we're gonna have that sit for about another 15 minutes. See you then. All right, we're back again. So we've had another 15 minutes. So far, I am seeing bubbles going on in here, just giving it a good stir, and then we're gonna add another ½ ounce of the brew. All right, that's another ½ ounce. I'm probably going to do this one more time before I add the whole thing to the brew. And then we're just going to let it sit, and hopefully the gravity will be changing within the next 48 hours or so. But hopefully this is a development that will go the way that we want. Because again, we want this to be more of a Cabernet Sauvignon, so nice and dry and get really into those tannic places of the mouth that just suck everything out of there. And hopefully it'll happen. Anyways, so see y'all next time.